Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're dissecting what I can only describe as a massive end-to-end language learning machine, the Mariog Education ecosystem. We're going to unpack exactly how a modern educational empire operates, literally from their core curriculum design all the way to their extended corporate services. So let's dive right into this. Your students' or child's love of English starts here. You know, that stated mission really anchors everything Mariog Education does. They explicitly recognize a fundamental truth. Every single child learns differently, right? And at their own unique speed. Some kids just breeze through and jump levels, while others, well, they need a much more steady, step-by-step approach. And as you'll see, their entire ecosystem is custom-built to accommodate that exact reality. To understand how they actually pull that off, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Mariog philosophy, move on to their 9 levels of learning, check out their digital platform, meet the international team, and then finally wrap up with their global partnerships. Okay, Section 1, the Mariog philosophy. Let's look at the foundational curriculum blueprint driving this whole design. So while their model is deeply rooted in a UK curriculum foundation, it aims way higher than just, passing standard tests. The really crucial point here is their intense focus on student-centered, holistic development. They genuinely want to foster a lifelong love of learning. Sure, academic certificates are great, we all want them, but preparing well-rounded students for real-world life challenges, that's their ultimate measure of success. Moving on to Section 2, 9 levels of learning. How does all that high-level teaching philosophy translate into a concrete, day-to-day structure? Let's break it down. The absolute foundation is their SmartKids series, which covers levels 1 through 3. This tier is designed for complete novices. Level 1 is literally called the icebreaker. It's for kids with zero prior knowledge of English. By the time they hit level 3, it's catering to beginners who are just starting to piece together basic vocabulary but might still be struggling a bit with actual back-and-forth conversation. Next up is the intermediate tier. They call this the BigKids series, and it spans levels 4 through 6. Notice how the focus totally shifts here. Now students are actively building on their reading, writing, and conversational fluency. By the time they reach level 6, they're not just chatting. They are successfully tackling academic English and really working to shake off any remaining hesitations when they speak day to day. And that brings us to the advanced tier, the LuxuryKids series, covering levels 7 to 9. Now, what's genuinely fascinating about this phase is the expectation of absolute mastery. This tier targets high-level proficiency. So by level 9, which they call Advanced A, students aren't just speaking fluently. They are writing with total ease and have developed a really robust, independent English intellectual capacity. When you step back and look at the journey as a whole, it's just an incredibly highly structured progression. Going from an icebreaker with absolutely zero knowledge all the way up to high intellectual capacity, well, it ensures that students, parents, and teachers literally always know exactly where the learner stands and what milestone is coming up next. No guesswork involved. All right, Section 3, the digital online platform. Let's shift our focus to the tech side of things and look at the actual delivery mechanisms powering this whole experience. Mariog doesn't just rely on your standard paper textbooks, far from it. They deploy this multi-device app that works seamlessly across mobile, PC, and even smart TVs. But the real game changers here are the interactive AI programs and voice recognition tools. These give students real-time pronunciation checks. Coupled out with animated ebooks, integrated videos, and publicly accessible YouTube playlists, and you've got a deeply, deeply interactive learning environment. The source documents make a pretty compelling contrast between traditional classrooms and Mariog's online model. They make the argument that traditional physical classrooms are, let's face it, often full of distractions that can really hinder learning. On the flip side, Mariog's online model is engineered specifically to create a highly focused digital space where those typical disruptions are just totally minimized. Their online setup also offers some unique perks, like equal expression and flexibility. If you were ever the shy kid in school, and I think a lot of us can relate to that, you'll get this right away. The platform allows students to communicate through alternative methods, like forums or typed comments, which completely removes that intense pressure of having to speak up in front of 30 other kids. Plus, schedule flexibility means more sleep. And as the sources point out, more sleep directly improves memory retention. A total win-win. Okay, Section 4, meet the international team. Let's peek behind the app interface and look at the human infrastructure actually making all this happen. Mariog's operational hubs are truly international. I mean, they are spread out. Their Australia branch is dedicated entirely to securing top-tier educators and native speakers. Meanwhile, the Canada branch handles the heavy lifting of all the book and audio CD production. And then you have the UK branch managing the day-to-day online courses. It's essentially a seamlessly distributed global workflow. They also boast a really deep bench of highly specialized talent. You've got founder Martin Omoregie, who brings serious academic rigor as the author of 15 different interactive English books. Then there's co-author Briani van der Merwe, adding 2 decades of publishing experience to the mix. And the actual voice behind many of these digital assets, that's Rachel Dillyplane, a professional voiceover artist who's worked with massive global brands like Dell and italki. And we absolutely cannot forget the creative engine behind it all, the Broken Duck Studio team. They handle all the production, editing, and hardware. But what's really fun is looking at their personal hobbies mentioned in the sources. You have James, who loves motorcycling, Christopher, who has played piano for over 20 years, and Leo, whose main hobby is simply summarized in one word, gaming. It perfectly humanizes what is otherwise a massive, complex production effort. Finally, Section 5, Global Partnerships and Expanded Services. Because, as it turns out, Mariogan isn't just teaching students directly. They're acting as a major corporate entity in the broader education space. Yeah, Marioco actually operates as a comprehensive B2B service provider, too. They offer custom book compilation for other schools, bespoke e-learning app design, UK publishing assistance, and even corporate marketing and voiceover services. So the really crucial takeaway here is that they are actively exporting their internal ecosystem capabilities to the entire educational market. They aren't just building tools for themselves, they're building them for everyone. And for their own top students, well, the journey doesn't just abruptly end at level 9. Marilingo utilizes its affiliate networks to offer actual overseas academic pathways. We're talking about facilitating real transitions to universities in Canada, Australia, and the UK, alongside scholarship-backed cultural exchange excursions. It is a true end-to-end pipeline, literally from absolute beginner all the way to international university student. Which brings us to a crucial question I want to leave you with today. How will hybrid, technology-driven ecosystems like this reshape the very future of language learning? When you see a single entity controlling the curriculum, the AI-driven software, the global teaching staff, and even the overseas university placements, it really forces us to reconsider what a school actually looks like today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this deep dive sparked your curiosity to go out and learn more.